Hey, what's up guys, it's Shinobi Rush, and I'm very excited to be doing the very first episode of Shinobi's Dojo. In this episode, it's going to be all about movement and positioning. I'm going to be going over sprinting, crouching, jumps, strafes, peek shooting, and ninjas. As you can see, there's a lot to go over, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Alright, the first one we're going to be talking about is sprinting. Sprinting, as we all know, just helps you get from point A to point B faster. As you see, I take off at 30, and I stop at 25. 5 seconds is the longest you can sprint without rest. After you rest, however, 1 second rest equals 2 seconds of running, 2 second rest equals 4 seconds of running, and 3 seconds give you the full 5 seconds of sprinting back. Also, you have to be aware of where you sprint and how long you sprint, because you can see it takes a little bit of recovery time after you sprint. Like in this example, I sprint for no reason and it takes me a little bit of time to recover, so I back down, but my teammate helps me clean up the kill. So always have a reason when you do sprint and give yourself about a half second to a second recovery time when coming around corners so your weapon can be out and ready to fire. When you're sprinting and you're getting shot at, it slows you down about a good 40%. Here's a demonstration. As you can see, there's a huge difference between the person who got shot while sprinting and the person who didn't. A lot of people don't realize how much it slows you down when you do get shot at while sprinting. So think twice about putting yourself in the open and think you can just sprint back over to safety. Crouching is a very basic thing, so I don't feel like I need to go over it too much, but I will say a couple things about crouching. One, and probably the biggest thing about crouching, is that it hides you from the motion sensor. As you can see, somebody lifted on the man cannon. I crouched so he wouldn't see me on his motion sensor, but I could still see him. Unfortunately, I started getting shot in the back, but I still get the cancel. Here is another example of using crouching to stay hidden around corners. Keep in mind that when you do this, it's a lot more beneficial when you do it near a wall for extra cover. Another thing with crouching you can do is get a nice little victory dance once you embarrass them, or just to make them mad and rage quit. One last thing about crouching is that it actually lets you do jumps that you couldn't normally do. At the peak of the jump, you see I crouch just to make sure that I'm going to get on the platform for sure. Jumps are very helpful in a number of ways. One of these is by getting from the base of the level all the way up to the top in a short amount of time. Here's the next example of just that. After picking up a nice 5-shot, I hear gunfire coming up from up top. So I use this jump to get up quickly and help out my teammates. Let's take a look at this clip again from a different angle. As you see, when I come up top, I don't push all the way up into top middle in the open. I keep myself pretty hidden around the corner, just laying shots on everybody that I see. It's not until the end that I go super aggressive. Reason being is there's only one more person on their team, and I have backup. Jumps are also a great way to catch somebody off guard. As you see in this clip, instead of going straight across the bridge, I sprint and jump across on the side just to catch them off guard and finish them off. Jumping from around a wall or from cover in general is a great way to switch from being on the defense to a quick offense and clean up even a nice kill. Always remember that jumping equals high ground and high ground equals winning. One last tip for jumping: don't jump for no reason. Have a purpose when you do it, or else you might just get melted. So, what is a strafe and why do it? Strafing is basically a side-to-side maneuver to dodge your opponent's shots and pretty much juke them out. You can see that the end of this battle had about a quarter of my shield left, and that's because of strafing. If I were to just stand there and run straight at him, it would have been an easy shot. There are a lot of different strafes. Let's start off with the short strafe. The short strafe is a pretty quick but basic side-to-side maneuver. This strafe is most recommended for short to mid-range battles. And next up we have the long strafe. Long strafe is more used for mid-range to farther distance battles. Even though long strafes are more so recommended for longer to mid-range battles, it can definitely still be used in a close-range battle to mix things up. Keep in mind when it comes to strafing, there are no true set guidelines for strafes. Use different strafes in different situations and find what feels best for you and your playstyle. Now on to the quick strafe, or as me and my brother call it, the stupid emoji strafe. Kind of an inside joke, but you can see why we call it what we do. As dumb as it looks, it's actually pretty useful in close range situations, especially when you get the first shot, because when your opponent looks at you, they kind of get thrown off, either by laughing or just confused. Now for more of an advanced strafe, the break strafe. Some people also refer to it as the SK strafe. It's a great strafe to use and you'll become a straight monster if you master it. It kind of gives the appearance that you're lagging a bit sometimes. Okay, so how do you do it? It's actually a pretty simple concept, but it's kind of hard to master. You move your thumbstick so that it never hits the sides of the controller, but that you stop it so you never hear that slapping or clicking noise. The most important thing I could talk about strafing is mix it up and make it your own. Don't try to just do one short strafe or one long strafe or just a break strafe. Mix it up all the time and always do something different, including adding crouching and jumps with it. One last maneuver when it comes to strafing. Strafe as you move backwards. This is really great if somebody has an automatic weapon and has to be close to you. And now on to peek shooting. Peek shooting is when you pop in and out from cover and timing your shots while doing it. Peek shooting is a bit of a mind game that you play with your opponent. It's a great way to be a distraction and keep their focus on you. The key to peek shooting and doing it well is to come out at different times and time your shots each time you pop out. And here are a couple of examples. It's also really important to note that peek shooting doesn't necessarily have to be just from a wall coming up from the side, but can be also used by jumping up or using a ramp to go upwards. Now on to our final one. Last but definitely not least, ninjas. I know this video has been pretty long, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. Ninjas are used for a last resort type of kill. To perform a ninja, you run away just a split second, then jump backwards, look down, and melee. It's pretty straightforward and you don't always get it, but when you do, it's pretty sweet. Now what I like to call a Shinobi. Kinda like a ninja, but a lot better. What you do is keep your feet planted and shoot at nothing. It sounds stupid, but the reason why you do this is because it makes you look occupied. So doing this puts your opponent's mind at ease, thinking that they're gonna get an easy kill. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a long video, but thanks a lot for staying to the end. I want to give a quick shout out to Blaine, Monsters Kunai, I'm Mama Sam, and Tetranova. And before I go, I'm going to give you guys a tip of the week. Tip of the week is to watch your films. Not just the ones you win on, but the ones you lose terribly at too. Doing this, you'll get to see what you did right and wrong, and you'll get to see what the opponent did right and wrong. You'll see what worked, didn't work, what to change, and what to keep. If you need any help with anything in this video or want to do some one-on-one lessons, then just hit me up on my Xbox Live account at Shinobi Rush. Alright guys, it's Shinobi Rush, and I'm popping smoke. Later.